You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka your boy, Brotha T, here with another one. So we like to call this channel T's Life Tree. And on this channel, we like to drop pine cones of wisdom. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Before we get into it, I need you to like and subscribe, because when you like and subscribe, we can continue to give you those pine cones of wisdom, because we know you love getting that wisdom, right? We love that wisdom. All right, so today we're just going to talk about dealing with rejection. Okay, so we've all dealt with rejection, right? On different levels, maybe in a marriage, maybe in a relationship, maybe with a job. Okay. You know, maybe from our parents. Okay. We'll get into some of those. Okay. So what are some of the things that you can do to help you cope, or not even cope, but get over and handle rejection? We'll get into some of those. Let's first look at some of the things that causes us to receive rejection in certain ways. Okay, so some of the things that causes us to receive rejection and devastates us. Sometimes insecurities can do this for you, right? If you have insecurities that stem from your childhood, or insecurities that stem from an early relationship early on in your adolescence or your teenage years, actually, or sometimes it's just something that maybe happened since birth. Okay, it could be any one of those things. So insecurities can be really, really big when you start to handle rejection. You're insecure with yourself, somebody rejects you, it feeds that insecurity. All right, let's say, for instance, I have an insecurity about the way I look. Your man Brotha T has had this insecurity before. I used to think I was just the ugliest thing walking on God's green earth. Don't ask me why I thought that. That's what I thought about myself. So if somebody rejected me, they didn't have to say that I wasn't, nice looking or anything like that. They just had to reject me, period. And I would go back to my own insecurity and put that insecurity on the fact that I didn't think I was attractive or physically, appealing. So insecurities are big when it comes to rejection. The way you can get over your insecurities is to deal with them. I know you're saying, like, duh, Terrion, everybody knows that. Actually, everybody doesn't. Sometimes they don't know where to pinpoint some of that stuff. A lot of times it's seared into your subconscious from childhood. Okay, a lot of insecurities start from childhood. It could be anything. It could be your parents. Maybe they talked to you a certain way when you were a little child. Maybe just maybe you dealt with child abuse. Maybe you dealt with sexual abuse as a child. A lot of these things can bring about insecurities later on. Now you're living life and you're just reacting to things a certain way, and you're looking at life a certain way as well, because of these insecurities that get put in you at an early age. And it's not your fault in a lot of times. Okay, you were a child. There's certain things that you cannot control. You cannot control if somebody takes advantage of you in a sexual manner. Just like if you look into the past of those predators, then you would see a lot of times, maybe not every time, but a lot of times, it happened to them, and it happened to them. You get me? Once you start to really deal with it, then sometimes you find that little chain. Be the one to break that link in the chain. Break that link in the chain. Now, this is going to involve, I'm sorry, I said evolve. So this is going to involve a lot of time, a lot of effort, maybe some tears. You might have to forgive some people you never thought you'd forgive. Why would you forgive somebody that sexually assaulted you or sexually molested you? why would you forgive this person, right? You should never forgive them, right? What I mean by forgiveness, I'm not saying forget what's done. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to still be angry. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to confront that person. You do. But what happens when you hold on to something so tightly, right? So tightly. It causes stress within you. Because it's insecurities, obviously. You're holding on. You're holding on. Let me show you something. So, this is some paper. I have some paper in my hand, okay? So, I want you to try this with me. Grab a sheet of paper. Doesn't matter what kind of paper. Just make sure it's, not too light, right? And I want you to hold it. I want you to make a ball your fist up. I want you to hold that paper as tight as you can. Hold it there. Keep holding it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold that paper. All right. So I'm going to talk, and I'll get to the rest in a second. So this might involve releasing some power that these people have over you. Once you release it, you release that energy, that tension, you start to gain security in yourself because you start to understand that it wasn't your fault. Let go of the paper. Look at your hand. If you were holding on tight enough, you're going to see your hand is dented. You're going to see all kind of stuff happening here. My hand is turning red. Okay. That's what happens when you hold stuff in. Okay. It causes stress. That happens in your body when you hold stuff in. That's why you should not hold those past traumas. Do not hold them in. If you have to release them, talk about them, write a book, write it down in a journal. If you have to confront that person, tell somebody in your family, get that stuff out of you. Because once you get that stuff out of you, you start to work on your insecurities. So let's go back to the subject. So the subject is dealing with rejection. Another thing that causes us to deal with rejection the wrong way is fear. Fear can come about because of insecurities as well. But fear can also come in from past rejections. Okay? Let's say in school you were the ugly one, or you just weren't the stuff, right? And that first girl, your first person that you really wanted to be your sweetheart, and she rejected you, and it was a hard pass for her. Okay? Sometimes if you're not in the right mind state there, that'll instill fear in you approaching a woman, even in your adulthood sometimes. Okay? Sometimes if you haven't dealt with it. Some guys just got it in them where they deal with it, and they're gonna keep swinging away until they get a home run. And that's the attitude that a lot of you guys should have, actually. But if you don't have that attitude, take a look at your dating history, okay? Something could have happened that really, really, really got you in that mode where you don't deal with rejection well. With those insecurities, especially from childhood trauma, you have to go deal with it head on, right? Attack it. It's almost the same way with those. So what's one way that you can resolve some of that fear of rejection, stuff like that? Start approaching. Okay, I'm going to use the example of a guy that has had fear in the past approaching, or a guy that fears it now. I'm talking even grown men. Some grown men just fear rejection from a woman. So how can you get over this? Make it your daily routine to at least give a compliment to 2 or 3 women. Okay, you don't necessarily have to try to sleep with them or try to get, or necessarily try to get with them, but just give a compliment. And sometimes this will get you on a roll and get you used to talking to them, and make sure they're very attractive too. Don't lower your standard just to do the exercise. Approach the finest woman in the building. Approach the finest woman in the room. Approach her in a real way. Be authentic, and like I said, and it might work the other way. You might get a number or 2, right? Or, some kind of, at least social media. You might get their social media, right? If you approach it right. But why not walk up to the finest person in the whole building? Okay, so don't laugh at these lines. Okay, I'm giving the example. I'm trying to help people here. This is not time to make fun of Brotha T. All right, so let's say you just approach the finest person or the finest woman in the building, if you're a guy, or vice versa, you're a woman. But I'm just using the guys for an example. You approach her and you say, excuse me, I didn't want to bother you. I just want to let you know that you are the most beautiful woman I've seen today. And I've made it a point to, when I see a beautiful woman, just to let her know that she's beautiful and you're the one today. And just walk away. Now you might get you might get some weird reactions, but I almost guarantee more than likely, especially if you say it in an authentic way and you mean it and they feel it and you come with the right energy, you're going to get some, oh, thank you, or it might strike up a conversation, right? Why not? Here's another scenario. Why not, when you're in line and you have a beautiful woman standing behind you, you're a guy, you fear rejection, why not turn around and just start a conversation? Just about anything, it doesn't matter. Okay? Just, man, she's taking all day bringing this stuff up. It doesn't make no sense. She might say something back. Bam, that starts a conversation. Don't be afraid, is what I'm getting at. And what happens is you get used to doing this. Now, when you're really trying to approach for the real, unless those were the real times, right? And that can be for some guys, but now when you really are focused on, hey, this woman is beautiful, I'm going to let her know. I'm going to try to see if I can get to know her better. Now, you're like, I do this every day now. It's a thing. Bam. You're not afraid to do it. And if she rejects you, okay. I'm still a great guy. I still think I'm a decent looking guy and I got myself together and, so, hey, that's her loss. Go on to the next. Okay. But if you keep that fear of rejection with you, before you even walk up, you're defeating yourself, right? And then your energy sometimes isn't right if you're thinking like that. And sometimes, depending on the woman, she can absolutely pick that energy up that you're not confident in yourself. Okay, so just a little something to try to help you, right? What else leads to rejection or leads us not to handle rejection well? How about the fact that we never want to work on ourselves? Now, you can say that about going back to your childhood trauma and all that. I'm not even going there with it. I'm just saying sometimes, even in the present, we just fail to see where our shortcomings are. Always know, or always try to make it a point to know where your shortcomings are and what other people say are your shortcomings. Now you're going to get people all the time telling you this and telling you that. Now, if it's something that's repeated over and over and over and over again, especially throughout your life, you might want to take a look at that, right? Adjust some things, better yourself. If you don't better yourself, then you're not going to handle rejection well, because you can get to a place where you become a narcissist and think you're just all that. Your bread is buttered better than everybody else's. Your stuff doesn't stink when you fart and all that. So always stay a work in progress. Always learn. Always learn. Always learn about yourself. Always learn in general. I always make it my motto, and this is my saying. I don't think I stole this from anybody. That the minute you stop learning, you become an idiot. I don't care how much information you have. I don't care how book smart you could have went to Harvard, got a doctorate, and you could have went to Yale after that, and then went over to Oxford to study for a minute, came back. The minute you say, that's it, I've learned all I need to know in life, I'll never learn anything ever again, you still become an idiot in my eyes. Okay? Always stay learning, because the minute you think you know everything is the minute you don't know anything. Okay, that'll make sense to you later if you didn't get it. Okay, so how do you fix that? That's the easiest fix out of all the things I mentioned today, right? So if you're not working on yourself and constantly becoming better, then you fix it, but becoming better. I already gave you the tools just now. Start looking at yourself. Find out where your shortcomings are and improve on them. Stay improving every day. Stay ever learning as well. All right. So this has been your man, Brother T. I really, really, really thank you for stopping in, taking a look at this video. Like and subscribe if you need to. Comment, share it to somebody that you think needs this stuff, especially with my pep talks. Some people need this stuff out there, okay? And if you do, then that's cool. And if you know somebody that you think might need it, send it to them right away, because this is dire, man. We can save somebody's life out there with some of this information, right? Hey, that's the way I think. So this has been your man, Brother T, and I really enjoyed being with you, family, but I gotta go. Catch you on the next video. Peace.